A very important question that I've been thinking about lately. Is it racist to criticize a government?
What?
Well, apparently it's racist to criticize the Chinese government. That's what I keep hearing. This idea that criticizing the Chinese government equates to racism is something that just keeps popping up all over the internet, all over my videos, comments, everywhere. But honestly, I never paid much attention to it because it's just ridiculous. But then it got personal. So on March the 15th of this year, I was at a protest in London to oppose China's new mega embassy that they want to build there. There were thousands of people there to oppose the CCP, and I was up on stage giving a speech just to show my support for the event, show my support for Hong Kong, Taiwan, and all of the other places that the CCP has oppressed. When all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a CCP troll just appeared and started trying to interrupt my speech. And then he called me a racist.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Why are you wearing a balaclava,
Why are
Krusty?
you a racist?
Why are you Krusty?
Why are you a racist?
And how am I a racist, Mr. Krusty?
Because you hate China.
Standing up
You look in.
Now obviously this guy's a complete troll and it would be stupid to take what he says seriously, but when he said it, I was genuinely taken aback. And it made me think, why does this guy and other people keep saying that it's racist to criticize the Chinese government? Is there any truth behind what they're saying? So today, I'm going to break down why criticizing the Chinese Communist Party is not racist, why it's important to criticize them, and why certain individuals are trying their best to link criticism of the CCP with racism. First of all, an important distinction has to be made. Criticizing a government or political organization is not the same as criticizing a race of people. In this case, criticizing the Chinese government is not about attacking the Chinese people, their culture, or their ethnicity. The Chinese Communist Party is a political regime, just like any other government. And just like any other political system, the CCP can and should be subject to criticism. Every government, whether it's the United States, the UK, or even Taiwan, is open to scrutiny and critique. And it's no different when it comes to China. The CCP as a ruling party has a track record that many across the world find concerning, including human rights abuses, censorship, and its stance on Taiwan. So when people criticize the CCP, it's not because they have an issue with Chinese people, it's because they have a problem with the policies and actions of a political regime that has significant power over its citizens and an influence all around the world. Here's something that I find very interesting. The people who often call somebody criticizing China a racist are often the same people who have no problem criticizing other governments. Whether it's the United States, the UK, or any other government. These people are quick to call out political leaders when they feel it's warranted. So why the double standard when it comes to China? It's as if for some reason the Chinese Communist Party is treated like an untouchable subject. Why is it that it's okay to criticize every other government apart from China's? They will criticize every other government imaginable, but it's racist to criticize China's? It just doesn't add up, does it? If it's okay to criticize governments all around the world, then why would China's government be off limits? I lived in China for 7 years, and in my time living there, I hardly ever saw anybody criticizing the government in public. Because if you live in China and you speak out against the government, you are breaking the law. It's actually illegal to criticize the government there. Dissidents and activists face imprisonment, surveillance, and even worse for standing up to the regime. Look at all of the people who fled Hong Kong and came to the UK to get away from that national security law and the brutal crackdown from the Chinese Communist Party. And of course, there are many dissidents from various religious groups who have also fled China to get away from the authoritarian rule of the CCP. Chinese people don't have the freedom to express their dissatisfaction with the government. They can't freely protest, hold rallies, or criticize the government on social media without facing serious consequences. Because of this, it becomes even more crucial for people outside of China to stand up and speak out. If the people inside of China can't speak out freely, then it's up to us to stand up and speak for them and raise our voices loud and clear that we oppose the CCP. We need to be the ones advocating for freedom of speech, human rights, democracy, and the rule of law. If we don't speak out against the actions of the CCP, then who will? And that's why it's morally important to criticize the CCP. It's not a matter of racism or targeting Chinese people. It's about holding a government accountable for its actions that impact millions of people, both within China and around the world. You'll see in a lot of my videos that I support Taiwan. And that is because Taiwan is a democracy. It's nothing like communist China. It's a vibrant, thriving society, and it is under constant threat from the CCP, which wants above all else to bring Taiwan under its authoritarian control, often through coercion, threats, and military intimidation. Standing up for Taiwan isn't just about defending a nation's right to self-determination. It's also about defending the values of freedom, democracy, and human rights. These are the values that the CCP constantly tries to undermine, both within China and internationally. By supporting Taiwan, we're saying that we believe in these values, and we're pushing back against a regime that seeks to impose its will on a free society. I've been making videos about Taiwan for a long time, and I can tell you, I've been called a lot of names. I've been called a racist, I've been called a white-skinned pig, I've been called anti-China hater, and a whole lot more. But the fact remains that supporting Taiwan is about standing up for the right of the Taiwanese people to choose their own future without fear of oppressive regimes like the CCP. Finally, I want to leave you all with this. The fact is, it's the moral thing to do to speak up against a government like the CCP. When governments abuse their power, oppress their people, or violate basic human rights, it's everyone's responsibility to stand against it, not just those who are directly impacted. We cannot stay silent simply because a particular government has a powerful narrative or a large number of supporters. If we truly care about human rights, democracy, and freedom, we must call out regimes that violate those values. And that includes the Chinese Communist Party. So, criticizing the Chinese Communist Party isn't racist. It's not an attack on Chinese people or their culture. It's an opposition to a government that's shown itself to be repressive and harmful. It's a stand for the freedom that the people inside China are unable to express. It's a fight for human rights for people in Taiwan, Hong Kong, Tibet, and all around the world. where people can seek the truth without fear of persecution. So the next time you hear someone call criticism of the CCP racist, please remember this. We're not attacking a race. We're standing up for what's right.